All righty.
You ready, Jody B?
I'm ready, Lonnie G.
All
I'm
right, let's get it on.
you know, here we go. Right?
It's what we do.
It's what we do.
Hello, and welcome to episode 159. This is the special B News with the Ducks. So special news straight off the presses, too hot to handle. If it's news that's fit to print, we're going to talk about it. I am your host for tonight, Lonnie G, and I'm joined by the premier duck. That's Jody B. How are you doing, Jody B?
I'm good. How are you, Lonnie G?
I'm doing well. So it's just us two tonight. We are just bringing it, right? So that's what we do. You know, we like the mailman and male men, male man, male woman,
Mail carriers.
mail carriers. We make it happen. All the other ducks, slackers, we come through in the clutch. We're delivering rain, sleet, snow, and hail. Coming through here to bring you guys some news today. So if you like what you hear, I only ask is that you reward Jody's Bees for her patience and kindness by recording tonight, by going out and giving us 5 stars, right? 5 stars. And leave a review. We like getting them. If you have any feedback that you'd like to give the show, how we can make it better, any topics you'd like us to discuss, please leave us some feedback and know we read everything and we will respond. So with that being said, Jody B, before we get into the news, this past week, Run Disney registration for Marathon Weekend. We've always said it's like the Hunger Games, but it was worse this year. I mean, when you go back and you look at it, when we logged on, it was over an hour wait. Logged on early still. Once it kind of goes through, you log on like 10 minutes before, and then it starts to go through the cycle, and they open up the registration queue, and you're put in certain spots, but still, all of us were over an hour. You started getting text messages to 10K sold out, to 5K sold out. It got kind of crazy. What do you think about that? I mean, this was probably one of the worst in regards to securing races that I've seen for Run Disney in a while.
So I have to admit, I thought it was fairly easy because I registered myself and Tim, and then we registered you, and then we helped your daughter. Like, I just felt like we were kicking it through. Like everybody was just we're going through the systems. It wasn't until after the fact that I saw everybody's problem where people couldn't get in and they were locked out ahead of time, or it's really interesting to me because I thought once Disneyland opened their races that the East Coast running may not be in such high demand. I thought that it would spread the wealth a little bit because we're running on both coasts, but clearly this one was popular. I mean, I don't know. It was crazy. I feel really terrible for those people who did not get what they wanted or didn't get a race at all, because I know it happened. I have seen some charities out there that have some bibs already, so I would say go that route if you're so inclined. But yeah, it was nuts. What do you think, Lonnie?
It's crazy. I sit there and when I started getting the text messages about this sold out and that sold out, and I remember sending you guys the messages. And I was thinking, it wasn't this hard last year, right? And last year, we each kind of still the same thing. We had a little coalition of the willing to kind of register each other. But it literally, I remember it took a couple of hours for Dopa to sell out last year. This year, It went out like in an hour. And I don't know if it's, first I thought, is it an anniversary year? Well, no, it's not really an anniversary year, right? Goofy was last year. As anniversary year for Goofy last year, but I don't know if it's maybe because of the new themes. They always release the themes. Of course, it's the main characters, but this one kind of like a book theme. We're hoping maybe that's maybe something to do with it, but man, I don't know. I really feel for the people that didn't get the races they wanted.
But what I think about the themes, Marathon Weekend, it's still the same characters.
Always, yeah.
Unlike Princess or Wine and Dine or Springtime Surprise, where it's a different theme and different characters, Marathon Weekend, it's always, 5K is always set 10, so they may have a different spin on them, but it's always the same one. Now, I I really liked the 2025 race themes. I thought the pennants and the old style, that was my thing. I loved
Mhm.
that. So that one was really great. I loved the 50th anniversary. My least favorite, I'm sorry to say, was the 2023 race theme, the bright fluorescent 90s. I didn't love that one.
Whoa, hot
But
take.
I'm excited about the books because I do like reading, so that will be kind of fun. So I don't know. I really feel bad for people who didn't get what they wanted, and I'm pretty surprised in how fast they sold out. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 2023 themes now. Yeah, you're right. Those medals were kind of, that was the what the back in the 80s kind of thing they did. Yeah, those were kind of
One of my favorite weekends overall, like friendship wise and hanging out with people, ranks really high up there. But theme wise for the race, maybe not my favorite.
I got you. I got you. So, well, like you said, there are some charity bibs out there available. Hopefully, if if you really want to run a race, consider supporting the charity. It goes to a very worthy cause. There are several across the board. Just do some research. You can find out. Also, Disney still does release some opening some slots every now and then. You can. There are a bunch of different uh, groups that kind of get online and share those things when their new open registrations pop open, but they do go really fast.
Mhm.
But just still, don't lose hope. You may still be able to get
Yeah.
your race.
Yeah.
Now, and with that being said, the reason why you're here listening today, news, right? So at South by Southwest, which is a big convention slash, they do movie reviews, things of that nature out in Austin. They were there last week, and Disney executives Josh D'Amaro and Alan Bergman were there, and they did a panel on the future of world building at Disney. Right, so I was able to catch some of it. It was streamed, so I was able to watch just a few of the things when they kind of mentioned Star Wars. And went through some of the things, which was really exciting. And I'm not the Star Wars expert like Kevin, but I am better than Gene. So we're going to talk about some of the things that they talked about at South by Southwest, right? So in regards to that, let's just go straight up to the first thing, which is the collaboration with the Mandalorian, right? So as you know, Mandalorian will have a new movie coming out next year. The Mandalorian, a new movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, and to go along with that, we also will have a new mission that you can fly on Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run, right? So they're going to tie it in. It's going to come out the exact same day as the movie. Great tie-in. This is something that Disney should do more often, right? If you have
All
something come
the
out,
time.
tie it in.
All the time. They
Tie
should
it
do
in.
this they should do this over at I know they won't do it at Star Tours because it's the wrong but then that's not true. They have Lindsay and I, the last time we were there, we had Ray and Kylo on our Star Tours. So I
Yeah.
guess Star Tours they can put different ones. But it's simple. It's a simple add-on. I think that it's a great idea for Millennium Falcon, the ride in Galaxy's Edge because although I like it, it can give me a headache sometimes if you have kids driving up front,
Hmm.
if they're flying, and they're just crashing, sometimes it's not an enjoyable experience. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm ready for a new plot and theme while we're over there.
Oh yeah. And so it starts on Boat Coast, so Disney World in Disneyland, May 22nd. So with the release of the movie, this is 2026, you'll be able to see them in a new mission. And to your point, so I wrote Star Tours last time, and they actually had a scene and tied in Ahsoka into that one, right? So if you remember, so to your point, it's an easy thing, right? Great to add. I wasn't expecting it. I'm riding it, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, those are space wheels, right? And then you see Ahsoka and everything. I'm like, man, that's great that they tied this in, and it makes you wanna, it keeps it kind of fresh because you can go back in and get a new mission. So I've ridden Smuggler's Run a bunch of times. I know you have as well. To your point, depending on who's driving. But still, it's great to have another option that you can film to do that.
And I know, well, you were sick that time, but I know that the boys tried to do a Chewy mode on Smugglers
Mhm.
Run at one time, and I don't know that succeeded for them. I ended up in a group with a family of kids. That was not good. I thought I was going to throw up in the back of the, of the ship. But anyway, so I think it's just really cool that there's a different path that you can take now. And I agree. I think that they should have more stuff like that in the park. That's easy. That's easy stuff. That's not building a new land or
Mhm.
bringing out, a whole nother ride. That's just a new overlay. That's simple.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong with that. So good. I think we're excited about that.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, to kind of piggyback off of that, at D23, they mentioned that they're going to have Cars Land coming to Disney World, right? And we're a fan of Cars Land from Disneyland.
Yeah.
They kind of went a little bit more into that to kind of talk about how they're going to incorporate cars into the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I
I
think how they,
I thought this was interesting. Like
yeah,
this whole time I've been wondering how they're gonna put the Cars IP into Frontierland because
mhm,
I couldn't see it, right? Like,
mhm.
so they kind of came up with a good storyline. So tell us more about it, Lonnie, because I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because like you, I thought they were going to just bring the same thing over from Disneyland. And I'm like, you know what? Besides just the mountain scene, you're driving through that, how can it be, how they can do something different? So they're going to actually have it. And there's some early sketches of the vehicles and the ride system. Each car will be unique. It'll have personalities as well as numbers. And it's basically going to be like you're riding through the old Southwest, right? The Frontierland on cars. I didn't know they had cars back in Frontierland, but apparently Disney did some research and they're able to uncover the fact that truly there were cars in the 1800s in Frontierland. So, hey, it's historic, it's accurate.
I love that they're saying that they're leaving Radiator Springs behind and they're heading
Mhm.
to Frontierland. Like it's like almost a continuation of the story or a next chapter. So yeah, I think this is going to be, pretty cool. And I love that it's not going to be a copy and paste and repeat of California
Yeah.
because I think there's enough opportunity with that IP or really any IP that you can make things unique and separate in each side of the country with the park. So I love that it's going to be something different.
Oh, yeah. And I like the fact that it's going to be a new ride vehicle. It's going to be a car with wagon wheels. I don't know. And they say the experience is going to be different for each car. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. At first I wasn't, but I think, it's one of those double-edged swords, right? A lot of people don't want all the IP into the parks. I don't have a problem with the IP in the parks. I mean, I love the movies. Bring them where I can kind of experience them live, right? So, and to your point, the fact that it's not like Disneyland, that's good because we will still have Disneyland, right? So there you go. But I think one of the things that I am most excited about, and I don't know how you feel about this one, because it takes away one of your favorite parts of
Mhm.
Hollywood Studios, and that is the new Monsters Inc. land, I guess, over in where previously we had the Muppets, right? But they showed the new roller coaster, which is going to be the first suspended roller coaster. It's inspired by Monsters Inc. So it's kind of, you think about the door vault scene at the movie, the first movie, one of the best parts, of the funniest scenes of the movie, right? They showed actually how that ride scene would work in the takeoff of that system, of that coaster. And watching the videos, it's like I said, it's different, it's unique.
A vertical lift.
Vertical lift. What do you think about that, Jody B?
I think that's super cool. Now, listen, am I sad that they're taking away my Muppets? Yes. But that does not mean that I'm not excited for this new land, right? So I'm
Mhm.
excited for Monsters Inc. I think it's going to be a great addition. I just wish they didn't have to take things away to give us the new. If they were going to take anything away, they should have taken away Animation Courtyard because there's nothing going on over there. But anyway, neither here nor there. So I am excited about this new land coming, even though my beloved Muppets have been kicked out. But being suspended and hanging in a vertical lift, like I think that's going to be really cool. I mean, Hollywood Studios to me seems like the place to be if you want thrill and excitement, right? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
this is going to be that place. So
Yeah.
who knows when we'll get it, but I think it will be pretty awesome once it's there.
Yeah, I think the early estimates was 2041. But look, hey, by that time we may have real doors that lead to different lands. But I tell you, and you look at it, and you're right. I agree with you, and I think Hollywood Studio is rapidly becoming that park. You have Star Wars Land, right? So you have that. You have Toy Story Land, right? So now you have Monsters Inc. Land. And you know what? We know that they're going to incorporate the Muppets into Rock and Roller Coaster. Is it Rock and Roller Muppet Coaster? I don't know, but there hopefully they bring other stuff over there to incorporate the Muppets as well.
Yeah, because there's
Um,
space back there. Because
yeah,
had run Disney races back there. There's some space to do some things. I hope they do it.
yeah, do it. I mean, look, I want Animal playing the drums on Rock and Roller Coaster, right? So we're not going to call it Rock and Roller Coaster anymore. I don't know what they'll call it, Muppet Coaster. I don't know, but I want that. That's what I want in my life.
Yeah.
Anytime I can have more animal, have the life size animals like back there, make it, Muppet Land, and just have a bunch of stuff back there where we actually can kind of, have a picture with animal.
Yeah, that
Right.
would be awesome.
Yeah. So, and I think one of the last major announcements that they had for Disney World, was the new nighttime parade. And they actually have a float. They showed a picture of a rendering of a float, and it's a Coco float with Miguel, Dante, Pepita. It looks awesome, right? You're gonna see the bright marigold bridge and a colorful land of the dead illuminated in the night sky. They're gonna have characters from there. What do you think about bringing back a night parade?
To me, this is my childhood Disney World. I have vivid memories of the nighttime parade at Disney World, and I'm so excited that we're having one back because my son's never seen a nighttime parade ever. Like,
Mm,
not been in existence other than like hard ticket events, Halloween or something like that. So it's been a while since we've had a nighttime parade. I can't remember what year the parade left. So if anyone wants to throw that in our show notes and let us know, that'd be great. But um, it's been a long time, and I also hope this means that the park is going to stay open a little later. I'm hoping
mhm.
that that's the trend that we're going to back, kind of going back to some old school trends. Because those nighttime parades are there's just a feeling about them. They are really cool.
Oh yeah.
So
And they're really good for the hard ticket events, and usually that's the parties, right? It's the Mickey's Not So Scary, the Very Merry. They have a nighttime parade there, and the vibe is different. And I remember, and this wasn't the last year they had it, but I remember going with my family in 2006, and we actually saw the nighttime parade there before it went away, right? And you're right, we stood right in front of Magic Kingdom. Now look, it was freezing. I do remember that because that's the time when it wasn't supposed to be cold, and we ended up buying new jackets, hats, scarves, a new suitcase to bring everything back. Basically, gave Disney everything we had plus some. That's when I came up with the term that this is not my money, it's Mickey's money, because we gave it all to him just to stay warm. So yeah, so that nighttime parade, I love the nighttime parades for the hard ticket events. It's good that they'll have one that kids and their families could experience, especially at night. Man, that Coco float looks really nice.
I know. And Coco, I mean, that is such a great that all the scenes in that movie are so cool at night anyway. I just think
Mhm.
yeah. I'm super excited about this. Though, if Flynn's in the parade, he's gonna just ignore me again. So that's
No, I think he just was going through something. I think he wants you to come on the magic, so you can actually spend time with him at Rapunzel's royal table.
oh yeah, but I am excited for the parade. I think
Mhm.
I'm that's probably the thing I'm most excited about, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And I will say this: usually we focus on Disney World, and we've been kind of dibby dabbing in Disneyland. I do want to cover one good news story, and that is that Robert Downey Jr. actually made a surprise appearance at South by Southwest on the Disney
Oh,
panel. You
that was
saw it?
crazy. I saw that.
Yeah. So he was revealing. We spent a lot of time in the little Marvel space when we were there for the races last year, right? So they're adding on to that, right? So we
Yeah, the
did
new
the
Avengers campus stuff. Whoa.
yes. So we got to go back, right? So look, they're having a new coaster there, kind of thing. It's made with the gyro kinetic pods that they use. It's called Stark Flight Lab, and basically Tony Stark is working on some new tech, and you'll be able to test it out yourself by taking flight in one of these pods that will be controlled by a robotic arm. And it's looking at the kind of like the early renderings and what they were doing, they showed some of the ride vehicles and stuff like that for it. I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm so glad that you took those words and not me, because I was like, what are they saying there? That was all you, Lottie G. Good job. Good job reporting.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
the whole Stark, was it like the Stark Flight Lab or something like
Hmm.
that, whatever they called it? And
Hmm.
that new tech looks pretty cool. Like that's, and I like that they're kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. This is not just a coaster, not just, not a take something out of a box and plug it in. This looks pretty awesome. And then the other one.
Hmm.
Okay, so if people don't know, I am fully committed to watching the whole entire MCU, all the movies in the wait, which order am I watching them, Lonnie? Not the order
You
they released, in the
now
order,
you're watching me in chronological order,
in
aren't you?
chronological order. Okay, so
Hmm.
I'm getting through them slowly but surely. It's taking me a little while, okay? And I always come back with like 15 questions that I text the boys afterwards, like, I don't understand this. Tell me why this happened. I don't get this. Like but I'm trying. I'm really trying, you guys. I'm really
Hmm.
trying to understand this, all the MCU. But
Hmm.
this new Avengers campus
Hmm.
it does look pretty awesome with the whole battling the Thanos and all that stuff. That
Hmm.
that see, I even got his name right, aren't you?
Yeah, King Thanos. It's a new Thanos, right? So it's King Thanos, and you're battling him on a coaster kind of ride. That's actually pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? I like what they do on Avengers Campus. The show. I mean, we saw it when Spider-Man. I don't think they do the Spider-Man thing anymore. When he flipped off and came down, he was high-fiving all of us, and I was like, "Yeah, this is cool. We love the web slinger ride." FYI, we beat Jodie's group. I'm just gonna put that out there because she usually wins on other things. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Not like we kept score, but we did keep score. So we
I
won.
had out of the people in my car, I was the leader because
Hmm.
little arms.
So I think more that they can bring that about. And look, love the show they did, right? They did the show when Hydra attacked Avengers Campus. So they did that up there with Black Widow and everybody
That
and
was
Black
cool.
Panther, and it was pretty cool. So I think the more that you can put there, keep that in the forefront, especially as we transition into the next phase of the Marvel universe. That started off with the new Captain America, Bold New World. Highly recommend go see it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that popping up and doing more there.
So I have a question. So Lonnie, when you're in DCA, would this be kind of behind the Guardians ride? Is that where they're building all this?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's because it's right in that same little complex, so
Like
they have to tie it in there.
the test kitchen, kind of that area?
Right, right. Right. So where Penn Test Kitchen is, right across is what they do well, that's actually the Avengers, where they have the show, but that's where, Iron Man, we met Iron Man and stuff. So it has to be right back over there. So that whole little area. And now it really ties in because at first, when they transitioned the Tower of Terror to the new ride, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, you're like, oh, okay, so that's there. Okay, now we put this. But the more that you build out there, I
Yeah.
think it'll just really keep it, and especially since you can't bring those characters as much here to the
Yeah.
East Coast, I think that'll be a good draw
Yeah.
to bring people to the West Coast.
And again, I'm all for it. Let's have different things on different coasts. Like
Hmm.
we don't need the same. So I
Hmm.
love that it's something different.
Yeah, I tell you what I would hope, and if we had just a Run Disney tie-in, um, my favorite coast to coast was actually the Star Wars race, right? So my hope is maybe we can do something like that. Number one, bring back the Star Wars races, right? I think that's key. If you can do a Kessel Run, bring that challenge back, tie it into the anniversary of Star Wars. But then let's do something else with even the Avengers. They used to have an Avengers race there, right? But let's bring that back and do something else and tie that into the characters we have over here on the East Coast, right? So there are some things we can do from a tie-in perspective with Run Disney. Hey, Run Disney, if you have questions, give us a call. We'll gladly take your call and give you suggestions. And all we want in return is maybe a Club Run Disney membership. And if you can't do that, just mention us in something. Don't even mention us. Just call us. We just want to talk to y'all. Okay,
Yeah.
we're cheap.
Throw some points our way, some DVC points. We wouldn't shy away from that.
Oh yeah, I mean, and even if it's 1 point, that's one more than I had. So thank you for that. Right, I could just say Disney gave me this. So yeah. So that's the news. It's exciting.
One other thing, cruise line.
Oh
This is
yes,
kind of
forgot
more like
about that.
right now news, not necessarily South by Southwest news, but this one I did think this is pretty cool. So Disney Cruise Line right now, if you're sailing from I think now like March 2025 through December, if you extend your cruise to a land vacation either before or after your cruise, you can stay at either Saratoga or Old Key West at a 35% discount, which I think is pretty awesome. Like,
Yeah.
in particular, because they have those on your first day that you check in, you get access to the water park. So that would be, I mean, think about that. You get off a cruise, you're off the ship pretty early in the morning. Maybe you don't want to go to the springs. So instead you go check into Old Key West or Saratoga, and you go to one of the Disney water parks that day. Now you've just had a whole nother exciting day of your vacation, right? And it's cost more because it's a deluxe hotel. It's not a value, but I don't know, 35% discount. That's a significant discount. So I thought that was pretty cool and unique idea. I wish that they would fix what I see as a problem is if you're cruising and you want to go before your trip and after your trip, you can't have like a 4-day hopper ticket or something. Like you have to do a before your trip tickets and after before your sail tickets and after your sail tickets. I wish that wasn't the case, but I do think that's a pretty neat idea. I'm glad that they're, the cruise line and the parks are maybe talking a little bit to each other. And this is only, I think, for sailings out of Port Canaveral only.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool that they're giving that because usually, and you're right, we tie our vacations in. Usually we'll go to Disney World first and then head to the ship and then do the ship because you run at Disney World and then you hop on the boat and you relax, right? So that's the thing. So I love the fact they're kind of doing this where you can kind of have this tie-in because a lot of people do it anyway. So why not just have it where you get off the ship, you not ready to go home. Well, let's take it over to Disney for a couple of days, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great
idea. Yeah.
So.
Well, that's it. We give you some news that you can use.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched any of those South by Southwest videos, there's some, we're talking about it, but you can also go search it up and see some of those. There's some cool videos to go along with all of it.
Yeah, and it is great. So now we're going to transition to what some say is the best part of the show, which is cracking up with the ducks. So with that being said, Jody B, can you crack us up tonight?
Okay, so we're reporters tonight, right? So this is Jody. Okay, here's my joke of the night. Lonnie G.
Yes.
What do you get if you cross a sports reporter with a vegetable?
I don't know. What do you get?
You get a commentator. Oh, that's so stupid, but it's funny.
No, that's actually pretty good. I like that one. I am though. So Jody B.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Okay, bring it on.
Why would you not want to be one of the 7 dwarves?
Why would I not want to be one of the 7 dwarves? I don't know. Why? Because
6 out of 7 aren't happy.
That is very true.
Oh, it's the little things that give me joy.
Things that makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's like, what gives me joy? Dad jokes, quacking up with the ducks, Gene not being here. There's some things I just like. So with that being said, if you like what you hear, guys, like I said, go to the socials, drop us a like. We would definitely appreciate that. If you have any reviews, or like I say, if there's something that you want to see us talk about in the show, just let us know, and we'll do just that. So with that being said, like I said, Gene's not here, but the fact that Gene and John aren't here, 10-1, we didn't do anything to offend the lawyers, so we should be in good shape right now. So it's just us. So we know how to keep it professional, right? We do.
Yeah, we behave.
Exactly. So with that being said, Jody B, you have a great week. Everybody, thanks for joining, and Kwaharini.
Bye, friends. Short and sweet and to the point.